they're the side on the ascendancy here, and what a save that was if it stayed out.
Chase this winner, and it's Bamford, and it's Somerville, it's in!
And got Marcus Rashford with him, and Rashford's away through the middle, chance for two for Manchester United!
Well, right now what Liverpool are going through can be said as the worst nightmare that Jurgen Klopp could ever fathom. With Klopp as their manager, Liverpool have never been through a rough patch that extended this long in his entire Liverpool tenure since his arrival at the Merseyside, and that includes the time when they slumped to a 6th straight Anfield loss in the 2019-20 season. When we look at the last season, Liverpool were challenging for all the honours possible and came closest to doing it in the entire history of club football. The last season for Liverpool, which ended up in losing to Real Madrid in the finals of Champions League and losing the Prem to Man City on the last day, with City coming up with a legendary 5-minute comeback against Aston Villa on the final day. For Liverpool it was like from almost completing an unprecedented quadruple last season to ending up winning just the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, which seemed like the season had ended on a low, but on the contrary it was anything but that. So what exactly happened to Liverpool in the summer that they find themselves in a position they are in right now, with whopping 19 points away from the league leaders Arsenal and 9 points off the drift from top 4? When compared to the other seasons under Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool find themselves way behind in pretty much every aspect of the game, whether it would be their clinical finishing that made them fearsome, suffocating press that almost at times paralysed the other teams, or the work rate that made them so effective. There are several reasons for Liverpool not being themselves this campaign. The obvious one is the injury to key players at the worst of times, with the likes of Luis Diaz, Diego Jota, Jordan Henderson, Joel Matip, Roberto Firmino, Naby Keita, Darwin Núñez at some point or the other. Now some will say that this is just giving excuses, as for such a big club like Liverpool they should be able to cope with this injury crisis, but the fact that it would affect any club, for an instance say something would have happened to Holland and De Bruyne, can you even imagine City scoring as many goals as they have? Or, for say Rashford got injured for Man United, can you even imagine Man United on such a serious title charge that they are on right now? Yes, it hurts, but anyway we will come back stronger. YNWA. The lack of performances from midfield can also be claimed as one of the main reasons for Liverpool being in this situation. Did you know that Liverpool doing fabulous transfer businesses in the recent 4-5 years they have only managed to sign one high-profile midfielder since Fabinho in 2018, and that is Thiago? Strange, right? When Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool, the first thing that stood out in his team was that relentless pressing that seemed to make even world-class players invincible, which in turn ended up in Liverpool winning the ball back in higher and dangerous situations and scoring a lot of goals on counter-attacks. That press has just vanished from Liverpool's game with the aging midfield in recent times, and even when it is there, it hasn't been that effective and has eventually left Liverpool in more perilous situations by leaving gaps in between the midfield and the back four and exposing our backline. The industry of midfield that made Liverpool so successful in recent years that even after losing their number 10 Coutinho, one of the star players in the team sheet, to Barcelona, it did not affect Liverpool in any manner whatsoever. As Klopp himself describes gegenpressing as the best playmaker, and pressing going out of the picture, the chances to make goal-scoring opportunities becomes limited. With Liverpool allowing Sadio Mane to leave the club to Bayern Munich in the summer, it was bound to have an impact on the pitch, and so it has turned out. His intensity and high-pressing game is exactly what is missing from Liverpool this campaign, with the impact being so big that even the Egyptian king has not been himself this season, missing his partner in crime. The transfer of Sadio Mane meant effectively ending the most lethal front three that any club has ever witnessed in history of club football. This season it's not only Mo Salah who has not been himself, but a lot of other players who have not performed at the very high standards that they have set in recent times, whether it be Van Dijk, Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the list goes on. One of the main source of goals in recent campaigns for Liverpool have been their high-flying full-backs who have not been at their scintillating best. One player who has certainly gone from his best to worst has been Alexander-Arnold, with compilation videos being made daily on the weaknesses of the right back. With just half the season underway, Liverpool have already conceded more number of goals as they did in the entirety of the whole of last season. The Liverpool defence not been at their best. It is obvious that the full-backs have been under so much pressure that they have not been able to help the front in delivering the key passes which were one of the main sources of goals in recent years. Both Arnold and Robertson were second and third last season in assists department, while in this season Robertson finds himself on 11th spot and Arnold is nowhere to be found in that list with just 1 assist. Liverpool have lost their hunger and desire to win the ball back the moment they lose it, and the main reason for that has been an ineffective midfield that has a lot to do with the lack of form of Fabinho, who has looked out of sorts this season and even losing his place to the youngster Stefan Bajcetic in the recent games, who has been in excellent form, and as a result Klopp has shown a lot of faith in him by putting his name as first on the team sheet when it comes to midfield 3. One point that cannot be understated is the lack of transfer and strategy, in which they have been impeccable in recent years. With Liverpool failing to sign the France international Aurélien Tchouameni, there was no backup plan to that. With the rumours of FSG seeking for investments has not been a good sign, as Klopp tries his best to get Liverpool back on track. Liverpool being so successful in recent years would not have been possible without the trio of Jurgen Klopp, sporting director Michael Edwards, and FSG president Mike Gordon, but in recent months a number of backroom staff members have resigned, breaking the backbone of Liverpool that made them what they are right now. With Liverpool not being that ruthless as they used to be on the pitch as well as off the pitch is a major concern for Liverpool supporters. But then again, with 2 wins, Form 2 in the last 2 matches, including the Merseyside derby beating Everton by 2-0 and carrying that on against the Magpies, beating them with the same scoreline, Liverpool looking like having their swagger back and the tide is turning, just in time you can say, with Liverpool's next match being against the Spanish giants Real Madrid in the round of 16 of Champions League. Trent looked like back to his very best, with being in the thick of the action, grabbing an assist for himself. It is still too early to say that Liverpool are functioning at their very best, especially before the tie with Real Madrid. But this can be seen as a start for Liverpool looking to turn their season around, and what other way to do it than by taking the revenge from Madrid for the losses they sustained in last 2 ties. Only time will tell what will happen, but let's hope for the best. I will be back with more updates, but until then, take care.